Another radical activist judge is trying to take Trump's name off the Illinois ballot.
All right, more breaking news. An Illinois judge has just ruled that Donald Trump should be kicked off the ballot in the state.
She already has.
That makes Illinois the third state, along with Colorado and Maine, to remove Trump from the ballot.
This is, of course, ridiculous. This is the only way the Democrats can win, is by putting together some kind of a rig. This is what we mean by rigging elections. They can't win by allowing Trump's name on the ballot. They have to pre-rig it, pre-order things like take his name off the ballot.
This is about Donald Trump and his ability to be on the ballot as a candidate because of what he did in the 2020 election, after that election, and on January 6th.
That's how this works. We have the article over at Politico. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. This is where the happy patriots are. They're not going to stop him because America demands there be a candidate on that ballot to vote for the leading contender of the Republican Party. And Illinois, all it's doing is revealing what's wrong with Illinois. Not that Trump is an insurrectionist. They're showing that this black activist judge, she's the insurrectionist.
This judge is writing her decision here that the Illinois State Board of Election shall remove Donald J. Trump from the ballot for the general primary election.
That's all that's happening. Let's watch the article. Here's Politico, and here's the headline: Trump gets the boot in Illinois. Happy Leap Day, Illinois. President Biden and former President Donald Trump will make separate visits to the southern border today, creating a split-screen spectacle ahead of the November election. A state judge has ruled that Donald Trump should be kicked off the Illinois ballot because of his involvement in January 6th insurrection. Now, they state that as if it's fact. That is, in fact, false. Trump did not participate. He did not have an involvement in a January 6th insurrection. We actually have no proof that a January 6th insurrection was even attempted. So they're still establishing that in a court of law and trying to. So for them to say that he, in fact, was involved is a lie and a slant of Politico, showing how leftist they are, which is ridiculous. So that's one opinion, is that Trump is getting kicked off the ballot because of his involvement in the January 6th insurrection. I have another opinion, that Trump is being kicked off the Illinois ballot because this is a black activist Democrat judge that has no interest in democracy, and they know they're going to lose with Trump, and they have to keep their slobbering, empty-headed, unconscious Joe Biden on the ballot so that he's the only person you can really vote for.
3 states banning Trump from being on the ballot. The Colorado case is in front of the Supreme Court. They have yet to make a decision.
It's the third state to declare the former president ineligible for the presidency. And again, I find this delicious because I think America needs to know what the Democrat Party is about. If you guys are against being able to vote for candidates, if you guys are for one party removing the lead opponent from a ballot, then vote Democrat. Keep voting Democrat. In other words, if you're against democracy, vote Democrat. However, if you think we should be able to vote and consent from the will of the government, from the people, if you believe that we should go to the public and say you should be able to vote for candidates, even the ones that have a different opinion than you on who won an election, then vote Republican. The details: Cook County Circuit Court Judge Tracy Porter issued the ruling Wednesday. Now, I have a picture here of Tracy Porter, and I went real quick, looked up her profile, and I'm just going to read you. Here's Judge Tracy Porter. I'm going to put judge in quotes there because this is a radical black activist. I'm only saying, what if I wanted in her place a radical white activist? Wouldn't that be ridiculous? Let's read her bio. Her professional associations include the American Bar Association. That should scare any of you. That this is another radicalized person on the American Bar. We went after the other one that was defending Fani Willis for the American Bar Association in Georgia. So this is another one, American Bar Association. And here's another one. She's also involved in the Black Entertainment and Sports Law Association. I just want to say, What if I said the judge that supported leaving Trump's name on the ballot was a member of the White Entertainment and Sports Law Association? How would that make you feel? She's also involved in the Black Women Lawyers Association of Greater Chicago. And I just want to say, I only want to get my marching orders from the White Men's Lawyers Association of Greater Chicago. Does that sound sane? Anyone in the audience, if you do not judge this association by the color of its skin, but judge it by its character, what kind of character do people have to keep saying, I belong to white groups? I belong to white groups. I'm in the white Boy Scouts. I'm in this white neighborhood. I have this white charity organization. I have this United White Persons College Fund. How does that sound? It's awful. I seriously, I feel bad for Black culture in America, but added that Trump can stay on the ballot through Friday, giving him time to appeal the order. Early voting for March 19th primary has already begun. So that means a vote for Trump still counts. The appeal's in the works. Trump campaign spokesman Stephen Chung issued a statement attacking the judge. Quote, "This is an unconstitutional ruling that we will quickly appeal," he said. In the meanwhile, President Trump remains on the Illinois ballot, is dominating in the polls, and will make America great again. Porter's decision, this activist judge, may not stand for long because the U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments earlier this month on a Colorado ruling that deemed Trump ineligible. And justices across the ideological spectrum seem skeptical that states have the authority to disqualify presidential candidates under the so-called insurrection clause. The Supreme Court, however, has not yet issued its decision. Savoring the win for now? This is a historic victory, said Ron Fine, legal director of Free Speech for the People, which brought the case. I love that too. The Democrats always misname everything. So the Free Speech for the People is the people who do not want you or Trump to have the free speech to show up and say what he thinks of elections, or to show up and be counted on a ballot. The Free Speech for the People are against free speech for the people, just so you know. Now the clock is ticking is what's next. With the primary just 19 days away, Dorff expects the appellate court will act quickly, maybe even allowing arguments to be done by memorandum instead of briefs, because it's expected the case will go to the Illinois Supreme Court and ultimately the decision by the U.S. Supreme Court. These guys are just trying to go, notice me, Clarence Thomas. We can be seen by the Supreme Court too, even though I'm a radical activist lawyer who only passed the bar because I am a preferred citizen. You and I don't get the same treatment. I do not receive what this woman's privilege. She gets privilege, and I do not. If I did what she did, I'd be thrown in jail. I'm dug in exile. Oh.